Hey, Diego. How's it going, man? I hope you're doing really, really good. I'm glad you found this. I'm really happy that you found this. Um, that was the whole reason behind this. I'm going to start a video journal to you, and I'll just be recording some videos on here and uploading them onto YouTube. And in YouTube, I'm going to put your down in the little bio thing down here. I'm going to put your full name, Diego Patrick Hensley, in hopes that one day you Google your name, and this will pop up, and you'll click on it, and you'll find this video, which if you're watching this, you have. Um, uh, Man, I wish this was two way. I wish I could see you on the other side. Um, I wanted to let you know that I miss you very much, son. I miss you. I love you. I think about you all the time, all the time. Every day, uh, many times every day. Um, I have I have an email account that I opened for you a long time ago, and I will occasionally write letters and send them and email them to you. And at some point, whenever you and I can finally contact each other, I'd like to give you the username and password for that email account, and you can see some of the letters that I've been writing you over the years. Um, um, I'm I'm really sorry that I don't get to be there with you. I'm sorry that I haven't been able to be there with you. Um, I can't imagine what that's been like for you. I'm sorry that this is the way things are right now. This was never ever my intention. Um, I've tried very hard, very hard to try to not have things be this way. Um, for whatever reason, your mother doesn't let you and I talk to each other. Um, I really used to enjoy every now and then she would go in spurts um, where she'd go a little while allowing you and me to talk to each other, and we would use FaceTime video chat, or I video, where we could call each other and see each other and have a conversation live. That was always the highlight of my day. That was always a great time, and I'm sorry that those came to an end. Let's see. Whenever I would call to try to talk to you, um, your mom always wanted to talk about something else. And it was very hard to actually get you on the phone. And many times your mom would get upset about something. And what I noticed was that one way or another, you'd get drug into the conversation. Uh, you as a kid would get drug into an adult conversation, and it wasn't healthy. It wasn't good. Um, and I tried to approach it different ways every time I would make the phone call. I tried to say different things or not say certain things, and try to keep it as peaceful as possible to be able to just kind of field whatever questions she would have for me, and do my best to field that just so I could get past that, so I could speak to you on the phone. I was always calling to talk to you. Um, and recently, in the last conversations that we had for, it was a while that this was happening, but you kept getting drug into the middle of conversations for adults that you really didn't need to be a part of. It's not healthy for a boy your age to be in a conversation like that between two adults. It wasn't healthy, and everything that I tried to do to fix it, to not have you being brought into those conversations, nothing worked. Um, it actually just it got worse. Um, Now um, I believe that I exhausted every resource that I could think of to try to be able to have those conversations with you, where I could just call and talk to you. But that never worked out that way. It always had to be a conversation between your mom and I first, and we just have a really tough time talking to each other. and in one way or another, you'd get dragged into the conversation, and it just wasn't healthy. And so that's when I finally just made the decision, saying, this isn't good for my son. Much as I love to talk to my son, and as much as I love to see my son, um, it wasn't healthy. It wasn't healthy. It started to feel like I was selfish. I was fulfilling my selfish desires to be able to speak with my son, but at what cost? At the cost of your psyche and your mental health, and being brought into those conversations that you really didn't need to be brought into. It wasn't okay. That wasn't the right thing to do. And there was no way to talk to you without that happening every time, every single time. Um, and so finally, I just made the call. Just said, okay, for Diego's well-being, I'm not going to call anymore, because every time I try to call, it's your mother and I would get into some sort of an argument in one way or another, and you'd get drug into it every time. And by the time you and I were able to talk to each other, tensions were already high. It was already a bad deal. So even when you and I did get to talk, it wasn't healthy. So I want you to know that I didn't just suddenly lose interest and not want to talk to you, Diego. I want nothing more. That was the highlight of my day every time I did get to talk to you, even though it was very few and far between, once or twice a month, or we'd go for 2 or 3 weeks where I got to talk to you every day, and then something would happen with your mom and she'd be upset about something. And anytime she got upset, what she liked to do was stop our communication, to stop letting you and I speak to each other. I want you to know it's really important that you understand and that you know that you are a great son. You're a very good young man. You did nothing wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. There was, the issues were between your mother and I. I want you to know that there's nothing wrong with you, and it's really important that you know that your dad didn't abandon you. That's not what happened. That's not even relatively close to what happened. That's not what happened at all. Things occurred between your mom and I. Things get really difficult between your mom and I, and there were some things that took place that I've come to the belief that your mom was really scared, was acting out of fear, which sometimes grown-ups do. It happens, and I didn't abandon you, Diego. It's incredibly important that you understand that. I had to leave the country. I had to leave Mexico. The situation had gotten to a point where it was dangerous for me to stay there. Your mom had, and I believe that your mom loves you very much. I truly believe that. I truly believe she cares for you. I truly believe she does the very best she can for you. I believe that some of the actions that she's taken and some of the things that she's done, they were based out of fear. That was an adult acting out of fear. And they've had certain consequences that have been very damaging to the relationship between you and I. I didn't think it would last this long. Certain things were set in motion, that your mom had set in motion, that made it very dangerous for me to stay there. And so I came back. I came back to Texas. I came back to Texas, and I tried to find a way for you and I to be together from here, and it never worked. It never worked. I tried multiple different methods of trying to have mediation between your mother and I, and finding a way to be able to have a relationship with you. That's all I've ever wanted, is just to be able to have a relationship with you. And when I came back here, I didn't think it would last this long. I didn't think it would last this long at all. I thought give it a little bit of time. She'll calm down. She'll come to her senses, um, and kind of undo some of the things that she had done there that made it dangerous for me to be there. And here we are 5 years later, and it's still not okay for me to go there and be there. The At first it still is sometimes, but at first it was a lot of anger. I was very upset with your mom. I was very angry for a long time, um, and with a lot of help and a lot of therapy and a lot of counseling. I've been able to somewhat convert that anger that I had towards your mom into compassion. Trying to find a way to see that your mother was acting out of fear. That I'm sure she was just doing what she thought was best, um, even though it turns out it really wasn't. That wasn't the best thing to do. At the time, I'm sure to her that's what the smartest thing to do was. I know she was in a lot of fear, and when people act out of fear, it's very volatile. It's very tricky to see what those actions will lead to in the future. Actions made out of fear um, cloud our judgment, and I think I know that's what happened with your mom. Um, I don't have these incredible hard feelings towards her anymore. She was raised in a very different world. She has a very different mindset than a lot of people that you might know. She has a different way of thinking and a different way of reacting. And unfortunately, this way of thinking and this way of acting has put a wedge in between you and me. And that wedge has been there for 5 years now. Um, I'm really sorry that wedge is there. I'm sorry I can't be a part of your life. I'm sorry that we haven't been able to work out a way that you could just come here for the summers. Stay in school there and come here for the summers and get to know all your cousins. You have 6 cousins here that all love you very much and that ask about you all the time. Jackson and Cooper and Maddie Rose and Hudson and Wyatt and Lucy ask about you constantly. Um, your aunts and uncles here, your Uncle Brennan and Aunt Sally and Uncle Gabe and Aunt Adrian, your grandparents, Mia and Papa T, they constantly ask about you. We all think about you all the time, Diego. It's very sad. It's a sad situation that you and I don't get to have a relationship of any kind. Um, I'm really sorry that this is how things are. I haven't given up. I still am trying every method that I could possibly think of to be able to work on this. So far, everything I've tried has been a strikeout. Um, it's been a huge strikeout. It's been a lot of work and for no results. Um, Most importantly, I need you to know, and I want you to understand really well that I don't want it like this. I never wanted it like this, ever. Um, you and I had a very close relationship. I was very, very lucky. I had a job that I really only worked about 4 hours a day and 4 days a week, and I was off about 4 months a year. And that allowed me to spend a lot of time with you. I really enjoyed spending time with you. We had great times together. Um, I can't even count the number of times we went on walks with you on my shoulders. We played all the time. I had such a good time playing with you and watching you grow up. Years 1 through 4 were amazing. I felt really blessed as a dad to be able to get to spend that much time with my son. It was a real privilege. That's one of the reasons why it helps me be concerned less, because I know that you and I do have a very close bond. That bond that's made in the early years is the most important bond, and you and I definitely have that bond. I still feel very bonded with you. Um, I got pictures of you everywhere. This is when you and I were flying a kite there on the beach. There you go. We did a lot of activities. We had a lot of fun activities. Um, I remember taking you out on the pirate ship, and we went and watched all the pirates do their thing. They had like a big battle with cannonballs, and um, you had a blast. We got to take pictures with these giant parrots on your shoulder, and um, it was a lot of fun taking you swimming and going and playing with Caden. That's Uncle Spencer's son. Um, we had really, really good times. And I'll always cherish those moments with you, without a doubt. Um, I am doing well here. Things here are good. Um, I live in Austin, Texas. I live really close to both of my brothers, both of your uncles, and all their family. I see them all the time. I see them regularly, at least once or twice a week. I see all the nephews and nieces at least once or twice a week. All your cousins, I see them constantly. I see your grandfather and Bubby. I see them a lot. Um, I run a business. I own and run a business. I've started an additional nonprofit on the side for as a project I've started. Um, I'm married to a wonderful, wonderful woman. Your stepmom is named Melissa Hensley. Um, she is an incredible, incredible woman that makes your dad really, really happy. I'm very, very fortunate. Um, really fortunate. Um, there's a lot of good things here. There's a lot of very good things here. But I do want you to know that I think about you all the time, Diego. Every day. There's not a day that has gone by in the last 5 years that I haven't thought about you multiple times a day. I miss you very much, Diego. I love you very much. I miss you very much. I uh, I I've liked your school's page on Facebook, and once or twice a week I'll scroll through your school's page, and every now and then there's a picture of you. They'll take a picture of the students doing something. There's a picture of you playing basketball. There's a picture of you on your first day of school. There's a little video of you on the first day of school when you walked in, and they had their mascot there, the big ant, and you gave him a hug, and that was your first day of school. You had your little bag behind you. You're so tall. You're so tall. I guess your mom and I are very tall too. That was bound to happen. Um, there's a picture of you on with the science project, and you had your white lab coat on, and you were pouring something into this other thing, and talking about what the reaction that was happening that was there. That was really cool. Um, so I do occasionally, every now and then, once every month or two, I'll be able to find a photo of you on your school's Facebook page, and that's really cool. I'm saddened that I don't get to talk to you, and the only way I get to watch my son grow up is through the occasional photos through his school's Facebook page. Um, that's been a living nightmare. That's been a really tough thing for me, and that really doesn't get any easier. Um, it doesn't get any easier. It doesn't. Um, I guess I just find new ways to kind of try to cope with it. Um, New tools to try to cope with it in a healthy way. That's it's still tricky. Um, I miss you very much, son. I'm really glad that you found this video. Um, I don't know when you find this. I don't know if you found it the day after I filmed it, or if there's a bunch of other videos underneath this. But this is the first one. So I'll be making these videos for you occasionally, and uploading them to my YouTube page, and making those remarks in the comments there with your full name. So hopefully you'll find them, and uh, get to hear some things from me. Um, I do miss you, man. Christmas is coming up. It's December 11th. I've contacted your school to see if they'll let me send you a present there, because your mom won't give me your address. And they said they can't accept a package on behalf of one of their students. It's worth a try. There was a friend that was there that I knew that lived near you, who knew your mom, and I was able to send her a box, and you got that. That was cool. But now she's moved to the other side of the country, to Puerto Vallarta. So I really don't have any other contacts there that I could, or contacts there that know your mom, that I could send you something to. Be able to send you a Christmas present or something along those lines. This is tough, man. It makes me really sad that these things are the way they are. But again, at some point, I'll put all my contact information on here. I'll put my email on here, my phone number. If you ever want to reach out and call me or send me an email, or if you just want to start by sending a text, because I know we haven't talked in a while. However you're most comfortable, whatever you're most comfortable, I will always be here for you, and I'll always answer you. Always. I love you, and there's nothing attached to that. You don't have to act a certain way. There's nothing you could do that could ever reduce the amount of love that I have for you. You'll never lose my love. You'll always have it. Always. It's not based on what you do or what you say or how you act or the grades you make or the friends you have. None of that. I love you no matter what. No matter what. And I'll always love you no matter what. There's nothing you could ever do to ever change that. It's really important that you know that. I've always loved you. I loved you. I've loved you from the very first moment that I held you and I saw you at the hospital that day. I've loved you more and more every day since then. And that hasn't died down. Even though there's distance between us and this time between us, that doesn't reduce my amount of care and love and affection for you, Diego. That's not how this works. I love you a bunch, man. I really miss you. Some days are better than others. Some days I'll call them, I'll say I'm having a bad Diego day. Maybe I'll see a dad walking down the block, holding his son's hand, or at the park playing, or sometimes when I go over to my brothers and I see them playing with their kids, it hurts. I get real sad sometimes when I see that, or think about what I'm not getting to do with you. There's times that it hits me right in the heart. Goes down to the very core of me, and it's tough. It's tough. I mean, that doesn't seem to get any easier. I miss you, man. I really miss you. I love you very much. More videos to come, I guess. I'll get on here and I'll upload these. Real hope that you find them. I'm sure you will someday, no matter what. I have faith that one day you're going to find me. You're going to look me up. You have all my information all over the internet. You can Google my name, Google anything, and have all my information on the internet. I have my own website. Google any of that information. I'll put all my information on the bio link down below this video on YouTube there, so you'll have it at any time, and I'll try to put every variation of your name on there. So if at some point you ever Google your own name to see what shows up, that you'll see this, and I hope you click it, and I hope you watch it all, and I hope you watch the other videos that I send you, because it's really important that you know that your father loves you very much, and your father never abandoned you. Your father wishes nothing more than to be able to be there with you and have a relationship with you. and to be able to hug you and put you to sleep and help you with your homework and take you to basketball practice and help you practice and take you to the beach and go and have fun and do all these things that that we haven't been able to do. Um, so I hope and I continue to pray. I pray about it every day. Pray for you every day. Every day I say, thank you, God, for providing for Diego whatever it is he needs the most today. And thank you, God, for providing for Diego whatever it is that would be to his greatest advantage today. I say the same prayer for your mom. I pray for your mom as well. I'll wrap up this video here. More to come. I really love you, buddy. I miss you so very much. You have a dad, you have a family, you have a bunch of cousins and aunts and uncles and grandparents here that love you and are dying to see you. And we would love nothing more for you to come and visit us. You have a room in this house. This house has a room for you. If you were to show up on my doorstep knocking saying, hey, Dad, like, you can move right in. Everywhere I ever will live, I'll always have a room for you at all times. And no questions asked. I'm not going to, there's nothing you have to do or say or anything like that to be welcome here. You're always welcome. 100% of the time, all the time, every day, every month, every year, no matter how long this takes. It's important that you know that you are always welcome here. You have a stepmom that loves you. I love you. Grandparents that love you here. 2 sets of grandparents, 2 aunts and uncles, 6 cousins, all love you very, very much. And we miss you. And we really hope you reach out. Call me. Send me an email. I love you.